Yeah. God's doing a great work in me for sure, and certainly He purposed me straight for His purpose, purposely my first degree. God's doing a great work in me, a one that's serving me. I'm serving He, that means I'm serving three, doing it perfectly. He picked me up and threw me in the promised land, let me know that I'm the man, and He's still been promising. Brought me up from bottom, man, had to slap from 5 like domino. He upheld His right hand, still dominant, honoring the righteous. Yo, it's your brother, Mr. Israelite, here to let all the people know that it's real life. Yeah, and I know I don't sound like Israel, but I want to reassure you that this is real. All right. So, I'm about to do a video on the two witnesses. So, we've been on the end times. We've been on Judgment Day. You know, I'm on my kick, man. We going in. But in the end times, there's something strange gonna happen. It's people, it's two witnesses that's coming back. The two prophets, right? That's how you know when you go when it's close to the end. I believe these two witnesses, Elijah. Don't get me started. And Moses, Enoch. One of the two. Elijah and Enoch, maybe. Because them the two that never died. And a lot of people say, hey, everybody got to die once. Even God died once. You understand? He came back to life. But He even had to do it. We all got to do it. And at that time, they going to die. But they going to come back. So, all right. So, I want to jump in real quick and just go through this. I think the one thing I want to do on this pod is like put people on to stuff. Like a lot of people haven't heard of this. This is gonna sound foreign to them. You know, a lot of this stuff they don't be teaching no more. You know, like I heard of this growing up, but not like often. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people stay away from the end time prophecy. That's the thing that I like about. I'm really into end time prophecies, as you can see. But depending on the denomination that you go up, you know, Baptist, and you got it's whatever. It's so many, whatever. Anyway, they find themselves preaching the same gospel, but a different way. How about that? All right. I'm not trying to be against anybody. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah, I want to show you about the two witnesses. I think it's an interesting story. Let me go in here and bring this up. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Bring this up. We're going to put it up there.
We think in Revelation chapter 11, verse 2 to 12, deals with the two witnesses. And I'm among those that believe Elijah is one of those two witnesses, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Now, these two witnesses are subject to, it's a kind of important piece, so let's insert this here. In Revelation 11, verse 5 and 6 says, if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. Wow. If any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have the power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy. And they have the power over the waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. As you analyze this list of powers that the two witnesses have, you quickly discover they are unique to two people. Two of these powers are unique to Elijah. Two of these powers are unique to Moses. And so that's one of the reasons, that's probably the clearest reason why I think the identity of the two witnesses are forthright. It's interesting that there's an occasion in Luke 9 where James and John, the sons of thunder, they would have, if Jesus had let them, they would have duplicated Elijah's acts. We're going to call down fire on these guys. That's what they want to do. No. But I mean, they were ready. That was their mood, if you will. But Jesus rebuked them. Let's talk a little bit about these identities. There were three people expected. In John chapter 1, there's a general expectation of either of Elijah or the Messiah or the prophet of Moses, Deuteronomy 18. And these Talmudic Messiah expectations are derived mostly from Malachi and elsewhere. Elijah, because that's the last words in the Old Testament, predicts that. And Moses was predicted, a prophet of Moses, in Deuteronomy 18. So these were three expectations that were extant in John chapter 1, Elijah, Moses, and the Messiah. And that was the question. And John the Baptist says, I'm not the Messiah. And he makes that declaration. Now,
I think maybe not Moses. I think it's Enoch. God was well pleased with Enoch. Y'all got to look into Enoch. Enoch saw a lot. Enoch did a lot. Enoch is the only man in the Bible that actually walked with God. I mean, Jesus walked with God, you know, but Jesus was God.
Now, he didn't do all the things that Elijah was supposed to do. He did not turn the hearts of the children, as Malachi predicted, nor did he usher in the great and dreadful day, as Malachi. So that means that hasn't happened yet. That's the point that both John and I think I'm trying to make here. Well, there's a second issue about these two witnesses. It's interesting that there are two ministries in the Old Testament that were not allowed to finish. Moses was interrupted in Numbers 20 and Deuteronomy 3. And he didn't get to go in the promised land. In fact, his ministry was curtailed, if you will. Elijah also was incomplete. And you study 1 Kings 17 and 19 and then 2 Kings 2. And so, but the thing that is probably the most persuasive to me is there are unique miraculous powers. There's 4 of them, 2 for each of them. Elijah, most people who analyze this all agree on Elijah because he didn't die and that sort of fixed that. He'd show up again. Because he called down fire from heaven in 1 Kings 18 and 2 Kings 1 and so forth. He also shut heaven for 3.5 years. Everybody is sensitive to the fact that he caused the drought to end by bringing rain. But you don't pick it up from the Old Testament record, but from the New Testament allusions to that, you pick up that not only did he bring the rain, he was the one that stopped the rain for 3.5 years.
First off, let me speak on Elijah. It's Elijah and Elijah, right? But this guy's faith was so strong. I mean, this is faith goals right here, people. You know how strong your faith gotta be? You know, they say you got the power in your tongue, right? And you can move mountains like you can command this mountain to fall. And it only takes the faith of a mustard seed to do it. This is how lack of faith we got, like we running around here with. This guy calls down hellfire from the sky. Insane. And I know y'all like, yeah, whatever. And I'm looking at y'all like, yeah, whatever. Like, man, this stuff happens, man. Anyway, not only did he do that, he made it stop raining for 3 straight years off a straight prayer. Like, yo, ain't no rain for these fools. Done. Then you know what else he did? 3 years went past. He was like, all right, it can rain again. What? That's crazy, right? Then, what else he do? This one for my flat earthers out here. He stopped the sun from moving. I know y'all was taught the sun don't move. So that's a nice little tidbit for my flat earthers out there. Go look that up. He stopped the sun from moving. Then when he felt like it, he said you can go ahead and keep going. Who does this? Then he took off in the chariot to heaven. This is like, I know this sounds crazy. Like, this is insane. Y'all need to go read the Bible. I know y'all ain't think I was this verse, did y'all? Y'all ain't know that. Y'all ain't know. Yeah. That's Mr. Israelite in this real life. I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not a game, man. But yeah, go check out that, man. That's insane. It's a crazy story. He took this lady's olive oil. Listen, go read the book. Let me let this.
Both in Luke 4 and in James 5. This is made a reference that he both shut the heavens, not just opened them. That's a subtlety, but and the reason it's so
Oh yeah, that's for my firmament people too. The windows of heaven. All right.
relevant for how long did Elijah shut the heavens so it wouldn't rain? For 3.5 years. How long do the two witnesses show up? For the first half of the 70th week of Daniel, namely for 3.5 years. You see, it just too much ties together, for me at least, not to see that all tied together. Anyway, the other one, I think, is Moses. A lot of people disagree, but because he was the one that turned water into blood in Exodus 7, he's the one that had all kinds of plagues from Exodus 8 all the way to chapter 12. All the famous plagues were unique, distinctive, if you will, to Moses' ministry. So I think that's another reason I see them both as Moses and Elijah. Now there's a contrast here with these two witnesses in contrast to the church.
I like how he putting them up against each other like this, some football stats. Like he got 36 knockouts. The other one, he's 6'3", 250. Why he pinning them against each other?
The church are supposed to be ministers. The ministers are to be harmless. Philippians 2, Romans 16, all makes reference to that.
Moses.
Well, what's the contradiction here? The
72
rapture's
knockouts?
already taken place by the time you get to the 70th week of Daniel, so the church is in heaven. So the unique instructions to the church
Elijah, call down hellfire. Sonic boom.
are not operative here. These guys play rough. When their enemies give them a hard time, they call, "Whew." That should be make a pretty exciting movie, wouldn't it? They could have some fun with that one, probably.
Let me get my budget up. If you get my budget up, my movies is gonna be crazy. And everybody gonna be the right color.
But again, as I want to remind, James and John they were willing to try to duplicate Elijah's acts, but Jesus rebuked them in Luke 9. Well, there's a final reason why I don't think it was necessarily Enoch. Everybody likes to say, well, they always think the two witnesses, well, Elijah, they all agree because he didn't die. Neither did Enoch, okay? Well, then they argue from Hebrews 9:27, which says that it is appointed unto man once to die, and after this the judgment. And they use that as an argument that this must be Enoch. No. There are a number of people that didn't die once. Lazarus, Jairus' daughter.
Lazarus did die once. What? He clearly died. Once. Now, I don't know if he died again. We don't know. We ain't heard about the second time he died. But he definitely died. For about a week, he was dead. Huh? Lazarus come out. Am I tripping? But you know who didn't die? I said this in one of my other things. John didn't die. Look this up. Nobody knows how John died. They like, John died of old age somewhere. Everybody else is documented. And then Jesus got this verse where he said, what is it to you? Like, yo, everybody's talking about they faith. And all the disciples, and they was like, well, what about John? And he was like, what is it to you if I don't never want John to die? And like, wait a minute, whoa. So like John is out here still alive from 2,000 years ago eating popcorn, waiting to pop out. I truly believe the other one is John. Just do your research. John didn't die. A lot of people think John didn't die. And Jesus got I'm going to look it up. Jesus got the verse.
The widow of Nain's son, and so on. And so that rule, that expression in Hebrews 9:27 is a refutation of reincarnation. The general pattern is man he dies once, and then comes the judgment. There are exceptions. Lazarus, Jairus' daughter, Nain's being an example, and it's for that reason that I don't think Enoch's in the picture here for a number of reasons. I think he really represents the church, and for a number of reasons. But also, first of all, he's a Gentile. The witnesses are Jewish. That'll disturb a lot of our Jewish friends, but that's a suggestion I put on the table. I suspect that Enoch was a model of the rapture. He was removed before the judgment of Noah, and he wasn't pre-flood or mid-flood or post-flood. He was pre-flood, right? Okay. Anyway, he was born and translated on the 6th of Sivan, which is the same as the Feast of Shavuot, which is the Feast of Pentecost. And there's a whole study about that you can get into where we study the feasts of Moses. I won't take the time to get into all that here. See, I also tend to regard the Transfiguration as a staff meeting. Jesus and these two witnesses are having a discussion.
I'm sorry to pause this discussion. This is John 21 and 20. Peter turned around and saw behind the disciple Jesus loved, the one who had leaned over to Jesus during supper and asked, "Lord, who will betray you?" Peter asked Jesus, "What about him, Lord?" Jesus replied, If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is it to you? As for you, follow me." Listen, that was John. So John 21 and 22. Jesus replied, if I want him to remain alive until I return, what is it to you? As for you, follow me. Listen, then you look up, how did John die? How did John the Baptist die? No, not John the Baptist. No, John. John 3:16. And basically, it say like he died of old age. Everybody else died a gruesome death. Nobody knows. If you really look into it, nobody knows how he died. They just like, oh, he died of natural causes and old age off in the wilderness alone. What? Everybody else got hung upside down, beheaded, skin ripped off them. Like, yeah, everybody else gruesome. John just died of, we don't really know. Like, if you look at it, nobody really knows. That's because what Jesus said, this man is still alive, eating popcorn, waiting on the day of the Lord's return.
An extended discussion about the second coming.
So he can come blow out fire.
And so we know they've talked about second coming. That seems to be the allusion of Luke 9:31. Also 1 Peter 1 and 2 Peter 1, both Peter was really impressed with that. It shows up. He makes allusions to it in his first letter and in his second letter. And there you get the impression, the suggestive impression, that they were talking about the second coming. And lying behind all of this is a mystery, and I don't have the answer to it. Why did Michael contend with Satan for the body of Moses? That allusion occurs in Jude 9. We know that God buried Moses in Deuteronomy 34, at the close of that. So Michael is apparently fighting with Satan over the body of Moses. Why is this? It's nowhere in the Bible. We don't know when it happened, why it happened, whatever. It apparently did happen because Jude makes reference to it. And so there must be something distinctive about the body of Moses. And it may have something to do with his being resurrected, not resurrected in...
No, it don't. I'm sorry. This guy kind of off base with a lot of stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie. The answer is clear why he hid Moses' body and why the devil was fighting on it. Because the devil wanted to put it on display. You know what would happen if they knew where Moses' body was, his actual bones? They will be worshiping him. You think they worshiping Mary? If you wanted anybody to be made an idol, it would have been Moses. They'd have probably held him over Jesus, over the Christ. I'm trying to tell you. If they knew where his body was, they would worship it. They worship a rock that Jesus laid on when he died. They go to it and touch it. It's just a rock. You talking about the rock when you went to sleep for 3 days? They call it the anointed holy rock. Nobody even anointed it. He didn't even bleed on it. He didn't even sweat on it. Listen, I'm tired of this. Anyway, that's the reason why. Because we would worship it. We would held it to such a high regard that it'd be blasphemous.
The glorious body sense, but brought back to life like Lazarus or Nain and so forth. We use the term resurrection to imply our glorified body, which is coming at the rapture. And Moses, the Old Testament saints aren't really resurrected in the true sense term until the second coming. But what's going on here? Don't know. A lot of guesses. Well, as far as these two witnesses are concerned, there's other suggestions some have. Some think it's John the Apostle and the writer of the Gospel of John. But in the book of Revelation, he's instructed, thou must prophesy again. So some people think that they build on that, the possibility maybe John is one of the two witnesses. I don't think he is, for a lot of reasons. But anyway...
Did you say John? Did you say John?
We include the Apostle of John in the church, which is in heaven. John was expressly rebuked from desiring Elijah's acts. So I don't see John as one of the two witnesses. There's very few people.
Yo boy know what he be talking about. I'm Mr. Israelite, brother man and sister woman. I'm Mr. Israelite in this real life. Come on, man.
People I've come across that others think it might be John the Baptist. Even J. Vernon McGee suggests that as a possibility. And that surprises me for a number of reasons, but be that as it may. Had the nation accepted John the Baptist's ministry, he would have served as Elijah that God sent. They would have also received Jesus. Instead, they rejected both of them and allowed them to be slain. So I don't think he's not my candidate for one of the two witnesses.
All right, yeah. Anyway, I thought he was about to. I really thought he was about to tell what the two witnesses does at the end, like they do. Whatever. They breathe fire, man. Excuse me. They breathe fire. They dang on prophesy. They create miracles. They end up dying, and then they wait 3 days, and then they get brought back to life, and then they go right back at it. They come down here and do the Lord's will, and they gonna have the power to do whatever they feel like doing. It's like God is like, here go all my power here. Whatever you want to do, have at it. But I am gonna let you die, just so I can bring you back to life again. Like I'm about to just fool out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be able to just, whatever they can think of with their minds, it's going to be done. If they say it, they ain't even going to have to think about it. They're going to have to just look at it. You better hope he don't think 100 killer bees on you, because it's happening. So, yeah. Yeah, that's that, man. That's that, man, like Batman. Now I'm about to be out. Y'all catch me on the next one, man. Hope y'all learned something today. Go look up some of these scriptures, man, for real. And check and read up on the two witnesses. It's a very interesting story. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comments what you think, man. Tell me who you think the other witness is, because everybody know that one of them is Elijah for sure, so whatever. All right, man. It's your boy, Mr. Israelite, Israelite. And I'm out.